Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Monday, November 7th, 2022. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, and a delegation left the Federation on Saturday, November 5th, headed for the Republic of China, Taiwan, for a 4-day state visit. The Prime Minister's delegation includes former Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Right Honourable Dr. Denzil Douglas, Leader of the Opposition in the National Assembly, the Honourable Mark Brantley, Member of the National Assembly, the Honourable Alexis Jeffers, the Honourable Dr. Joel Clark, the Honourable Isaline Phillip, Member of the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honourable Cleone Stapleton Simmons, Senior Assistant Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Samuel Berridge, and Personal Assistant to the Prime Minister, Hazel Jeffers.
I take this opportunity to convey warm greetings from the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis, your friends and partners in international development. We are truly honored to be here to strengthen the bonds of friendship between our two countries. I would also like to thank the government and people of the Republic of China, Taiwan for their warm hospitality and the excellent arrangements put in place to ensure that we have a successful mission. I'm very pleased to lead this high-level delegation to Taiwan to engage in discussions with high-level government officials and representatives from the private sector. This is also a familiarization mission for me, as I am a new head of government, having attained political office on August 6, 2022. I'm here to learn as much as I can from the Taiwanese experience in building its economy and exchange ideas on matters related to development cooperation, thereby strengthening the bonds of friendship which we have worked so assiduously to build.
Upon his arrival on Sunday, November 6th, Prime Minister Drew addressed senior government officials, members of the press corps, and the people of the Republic of China, Taiwan. The St. Kitts and Nevis delegation will have several engagements and is expected to return to the Federation on Friday, November 11th. Meantime, the Office of the Premier in the Nevis Island Administration wishes to inform that Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, will be abroad on official duties from Saturday, November 5th to Friday, November 11th, 2022. During his absence, the Honourable Eric Evelyn will act as Premier. The Domestic Violence Amendment Bill 2022, which seeks to make much-needed urgent changes to protect victims of domestic violence and provide them with swift access to justice, was successfully passed in the National Assembly on Friday, November 4th, 2022. The mover of the bill, Junior Minister of Gender Affairs, the Honourable Isaline Phillip, noted that statistics from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force indicate that domestic violence has increased steadily with a surge following the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. At the height of the pandemic in 2020, police records indicated a 400% increase in domestic violence cases, with a total of 359 reports in 2020, compared to a total of 87 reports in 2019, said Junior Minister Phillip. In the first half of this year, January to June, 238 domestic violence cases were reported, 195 of which involved female complainants. Statistics for domestic violence in the first quarter of 2022 alone reveal 132 reported cases of domestic violence. These figures already exceed the total annual figures recorded prior to 2020, Senator Phillip explained. The amendments proposed to change the jurisdiction of the courts to include both the magistrates and the High Court, so persons have easier access to justice through magistrates' court, while still having the option of High Court hearings for more serious grievances and matters. Junior Minister Phillips said, in addition to addressing the issues through legislation, the ministry also intends to address education and public awareness awareness of the issues concerning domestic violence to begin shifting the culture of what healthy relationships and healthy masculinity look like. The Domestic Violence Amendment Bill 2022 was strongly supported by members on both sides of the aisle. Work has commenced on Phase 2 of the Island Main Road Rehabilitation and Safety Improvement Project. The Nevis Island Administration has signed a multi-million-dollar agreement with Surrey Paving and Aggregate Company, Caribbean Limited, to complete the works.
The general public would recall that in 2019 we completed the first phase of this enhancement project. But at the beginning of 2020, we were struck by the COVID pandemic and this project had to be delayed. This project initially started at a cost of over $13 million for that phase of the work. And I'm happy to report that we are settling at a figure of just about $11.7 million for this phase of the work. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Bank of Nevis for being a steadfast partner with the island of Nevis and the Ministry of Communication by funding this project to the tune of some $11 million. And I believe that that is a vote of confidence in the Nevis Island Administration to loan the people of Nevis and to loan the Nevis Island Administration $11 million to have this project executed.
Minister of Works, the Honourable Spencer Brand, also made an appeal to motorists.
This is not just a road construction project. This is a safety project for the island of Nevis. In this area, we know that we had some safety issues and some safety challenges along this corridor. And our main focus was to ensure that once this project is completed, then the safety component would definitely be greatly enhanced. I want to use this opportunity also to appeal to our motorists who will be using this corridor during the construction. Please, please, please follow the guidance and the direction of the persons who are on the ground during the construction phase. We do not want to have any undue incidents during this construction, and your cooperation and participation will be critical in ensuring that that becomes a reality. I believe that when this project is completed, the people of Nevis would certainly be satisfied with the end product. Because if we would go by what we have seen from Cotton Ground to Cliff Dwellers, we expect a similar quality and an even much more improved quality.
The contract covers 1.5 kilometers of road from Cliff Dwellers Estate to Mount Nevis and 0.9 kilometers of road from Shaw's Road to Nisbet Plantation. Zia Claxton, quality engineer for Surrey Paving and Aggregate Company, Caribbean Limited, gave an overview of the project.
Similarly to Phase 1, Phase 2 will include major works such as drainage infrastructure improvement, demolition of the existing asphalt pavement, excavation works, realignment works, replacing the sub-base and the base layers with new material so as to strengthen the foundation of the pavement, as well as to reshape the geometric profile of the carriageway. And then we'll be paving a new asphalt surface. We'll also be installing new road or street furniture such as cat eye reflectors, crash barriers where they are necessary, as well as new road markings. For the first 2 months of the project, that will take us into December, we will be focusing on the first kilometer of the project, so that's chainage 2500 to chainage 3500. That is Cliff Dwellers Estate to just about the entrance, just before the entrance to the Oali water taxi pier. Within that work zone, we'll be concentrating on the drainage infrastructure, so construction of any drainage infrastructure that we have to implement, new curbs and slipper drains, U-drains, V-drains, anything that is necessary, and we'll also be working on the repaving of the carriageway. We'll also be executing excavation works at Hurricane Hill, and this is essentially to improve the safety, the line of sight of that area.
Michael Morrison is the project manager for Surrey Paving and Aggregate Company Caribbean Limited.
We will focus most of our activities within the section between Cliff Dwellers and Owali Beach. We want to complete that section to have it drivable for Christmas. One thing of note is that the new box drains going across the carriageway, we won't be doing those on this side of the air for safety reasons. We don't want to leave them hanging out there and persons crashing into them, because the geometric profile of the road will change significantly, and also the elevation. We want to produce a climate-resistant road, so that the elevations will be way above what exists now. So all these new drains will stick out like a sore thumb out of the road. So we won't do those works until next year.
The signing ceremony was chaired by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Communication and Works, Dr. Ernie Stapleton. Also present were Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Colin Dorr, Principal Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Communications and Works, Denzel Stanley, Legal Counsel at the NIA's Legal Department, Dejona Liburd, and Director of the Public Works Department, Jevon Williams. Meantime, the Nevis Water Department projects team will be working in the areas of Cliff Dwellers to Wally Beach from Monday, November 7th, between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. The team will be installing new water mains as part of the Island Main Road Rehabilitation and Safety Improvement Project. The general public is also asked to take note that there will be vehicular traffic delays between the construction areas. There is also the possibility of unscheduled water interruptions during the pipe installation process. More updates will be provided during the installation period to ensure the public is kept up to date. The Department of Gender Affairs is inviting men on Nevis to register to participate in its 2022 Men Can Cook Grill Master Edition. The competition will be held from noon to 6 p.m. on Sunday, November 13th at the VOJN Plain Field at Rollins Pasture in St. James Parish. Registration for the Men Can Cook Grill Master Edition is free. The deadline for registration is Friday, November 11th, 2022. For more information, contact the Department of Gender Affairs at 469-5521 extension 6752 or 665-6302. And that's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.